Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Break Podcast where we talk about Reddit questions, right? So this one is really spicy and I want to hear you guys' opinions. So make sure to subscribe, comment, and let's get it. My wife wants to back out of the divorce she filed. Not sure what to do.
That's the title.
Yeah, I didn't add the numbers. It confused me. I'm not going to lie. So off the bat, what do you guys think about that?
I'm interested to know how can somebody even get to the point of divorce and then bring it back? Like what?
You? What do you think?
I want to see how he negotiates that.
Okay, let's go.
It's a lot of layers there.
My wife of 12 years filed for divorce earlier this year after admitting she fell out of love 3 years ago. We tried marriage counseling and even separated in March to gain perspective. I moved out and found myself happier living alone. In May, she filed for divorce, and while I hoped for a simple process, things got contentious with her initially demanding the house, full custody of our daughters, $4,000 a month in child support, and alimony. We've mostly communicated through lawyers since then, aside from coordinating with the kids. Last night, she asked to meet for dinner and told me she wants to try again, saying she was in a dark place and now realizes she was the problem. She even apologized, which is very unlike her, and said our daughters miss us living together. I told her I think about it, but I'm torn. I love her and want to consider it for the sake of my daughters, but I've also been happier living single. I worry about wasting time if things fall apart, again, especially knowing she's been dating during the separation. Has anyone been going through a situation like this? Is it worth trying?
SubhanAllah, man.
That's interesting.
That's a whole lot.
That's interesting.
Okay, now that you read it,
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here, Halim.
I would love to hear a woman's opinion.
Please break it down for us.
Go ahead.
My goodness. Okay, so Bini Adim is so complex.
100%.
One thing we know about Bini Adim is we're so complex. The other thing, so a couple of things come up for me. I think about what therapy work has he done since and what therapy work has she done since. I do believe in marriages and relationships that we're falling in love various different times again and again, and we're falling out of love and whatever have you. But at the end of the day, I think about, and what are the core values of that relationship? What are we committing to? What are we sticking to? Because we recognize and we understand at the end of the day, it is a possible fact that we may have to separate. And, sometimes the thing that we often forget is that, we sometimes grow in relationships. So maybe who you were at the initial of the relationship could be different than who you are in the middle and with things happening. And who you thought somebody was with time and events, they can change. So it could be that, you grow apart or whatever. So what comes to mind for me is, well, what work is both people doing? What work are both people doing? And is that work conducive to who they are today?
Mm-hmm.
I also think immediately something else I think is, in addition to, is who you are today conducive to who she is, knowing what you know today, and for her as well, like what are the motivating factors for her to feel like, I want to do this, I want to be with you, and what commitments are we making? I can't help but think about self-esteem, because self-esteem will have us thinking that red flags feels like home.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not doing the work, then toxicity will feel like it's, I'm deserving, this is home, it's normal. And I also think, okay, going back to such a situation, what's the precedent that you're setting, right? That you can wrong me, you can harm me, you can do all the things, you can say all the things, whatever have you, and then I'll just take you back, right? So again, I don't have so much context because I'm not working with them and they're not physically in front of me, but my mind immediately goes to, brother, man, where's our self-esteem at? Okay. And then for the two of them, I think, hey, yo, bet, what work are we both doing? And is that work conducive to who we are today? Because I'm sure in that time, just as he shared, like, I'm realizing, I'm finding out about myself. What I know now is that I do like my time away from said person, and leaning into that a little bit more. Why are you happier? What's making you happier farther away from this person? What is it? What realizations are taking place for you? Yeah, that's where my head's at.
Question for you. What do you think he should do?
Okay.
Yeah.
I think what I did was I posed the question.
Yeah, I get it.
What work are you both? Because I don't know.
But from what I've shared with you, and let's say,
are you asking me as Halim an individual, just as me?
Yeah,
I would say, brother, man, where's our levels of self-esteem? Can we go back to therapy? Because we're acknowledging and we recognize I'm happy away from this person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finding a rhythm. I'm finding balance. I'm building myself back up. And then when she hits me up, it's like she's drawing me back into And the fact that a lot of times people stay longer in relationships than they need to by way of guilt or children. But I always argue and push back. What would benefit the children most? You miserable in a household that you're not happy in, or you happy somewhere else, and when you show up for them, you're able to pour into them in a way that comes from, I'm not overwhelmed, I'm not angry, and I'm not functioning from and irritation. So I would say, let's reevaluate why you feel better when you're away from this person.
Definitely.
There must be something there.
I want to rewind a little bit, and I want to just center on the concept of falling out of love with your spouse.
Okay.
It's to me, that's like one of the biggest nightmares of life that somebody could experience.
Fair,
it's a reality, though.
And it's possible because we are evolving, we are growing, we are changing in relationships. And if we're not actively showing up every day doing the work, then it could be that somebody is just like, and why bother? Before this was fine, no problem. But now maybe I need more. And being Adam, we always need more. We're always naturally, things that were cute before is now like, it's not enough anymore. You know, and I think it's so natural and normal.
That's a great observation. And I'm not going to lie too. I think, well, let me ask you a question. I've been asking a lot of questions to the panel today, okay?
Not in this episode.
My questions have been great.
Not in this episode.
Yeah,
this is a whole new episode.
Last episode. The last time we were here.
Yeah,
right? The last time we were here in these clothes. Right.
Yeah.
But now, what was I going to ask again? Damn.
Oh, you lost your train of thought?
I lost my train of thought.
Okay, how about I say my thing and you
go ahead,
think, okay?
Ahead, please.
So, I'm very appreciative of what you said. I never thought of that. Maybe he noticed that he likes his own solitude better, being away from X person. And maybe
is it solitude or just when removed from that relationship, we're not forced to have to be in before. There's not a force, but there's a sense of obligation. The obligation is not there anymore. Who even are you?
Yeah.
And what do you even like? Sometimes we are so enmeshed in community and having not spent time alone, we don't even know who we are alone, right? And I think this really forced him to be in a position to sit with himself in the discomfort and really reevaluate, Ayo, bet, and she's harming me. This hurts. This is what she's saying to me. Like, I hear a list of things that, you know, the said person is able to bring up. And
No, thank you for saying what I was saying better. That's what I was trying to say.
You need to learn faster, man.
Fair point. But to everything that you said plus more, I do want to add that knowing that now he's in a better place, now that he has been removed from the equation, he's realizing how happy he could be, you know? And one thing I do want to realize, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. You know, I do think she thought she could do better than him. I think that's the point, Mukhtar, you're probably going to bring up. I know how the way you think, brother. I got you. But to that point, I think she thought she could do better than him. They had their separation. She was dating out there. Noticed that the market wasn't that great. And you know what comes back after when they realize that what's out there is not so best? They come back to the place where they water the grass.
That old thing.
Yeah, 100%. They're like, hey, actually, maybe you and I can work out. You know, it's like he was doing him a favor. Like, maybe, you know, I know you still like me, because he did say in the message that I was reading that he still loves her. Not saying that she is manipulated him, but maybe she knows that there's still a little love there that she can grasp on, you know? So knowing that, and knowing that maybe the love for her is still there, she thinks that maybe she can come in and out of this guy's life whenever she wants.
So I want to play devil's advocate.
100%.
I want to extend compassion to her. Could it also be that, given that now she's finally had the opportunity to be out there in the world and date, given that she's also had the opportunity to recognize what a household of hers looks like without his presence, that she has also done some self-work to be like, and maybe we had a rough patch, because in relationships you're not always going to like your partner, but the hope is that you love them, but every day you're not going to like them. Things will happen, and the love grows, and the love stays stagnant, or whichever, regardless. Could it be that she's also done reflective work to be like, and you know, best thing for me was actually said person?
I disagree. And the reason why I disagree is because there's a difference between trying to make something work. Like, you know how they went through marriage counseling for 3 years, and he was like, yo, I know you may have fallen out of love with me, but we can still make this work, you know? He was always on the side of, I love you and I want to make this work. Her end, they tried it for 3 years, and after the fact, they decided to get a divorce, right? From what I heard from that story is she quit. There's a difference between trying to make something work and moving, even little baby steps at a time than saying I'm done.
Mm.
Because I'm always here for somebody who's trying to make things work for me.
No, I hear you.
You know, like I will give you as much as you give me, if not more.
Mm.
But the second you tell me you're done,
Mhm.
I have to respect myself and understand my worth
Mhm.
and see what I bring to the table.
Mhm.
Step back and be like, I can't do this anymore. This person has closed a door that even though I still love her and is the mother of my kids, I don't think I can reopen that door anymore because I don't know if I can look myself in the mirror again.
So what I'm hearing is you don't want to participate in self-betrayal. Like you're not
100%.
looking to
Like I don't know if
Mhm.
letting that person come in and out of my life, I could see myself the same way.
No, of course, it's your
You
core
know?
values.
Because then what am I at that point? Do I even respect myself?
Mhm.
I'm
then
just
again,
letting
like-
somebody play with my heart because they know that they love me.
But
you
then
know?
again, like a common denominator would be that they have children together, right?
Which is fair.
Right. So
Yeah.
in that
And I
sense,
do remember a point that you brought up a long time ago. I didn't want to bring this point up. And maybe you changed. I don't know. But I always think about this every now and then. You said, and I'm trying to paraphrase what you said, you were like, once I get into a marriage, and let's say my wife and myself, we fall out of love, I still think I will be in that relationship for the goodness of my kids because I don't want to ruin their life. I may talk about divorce at a later time when they're out of the house and when they're not affected greatly by what separation looks like, but I do think that I can stay in a loveless marriage if that means not messing up my kids. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
And a long time ago we disagreed on that.
lovers to roommates.
Yeah, which is I still stand on this side, which is like I still feel like I need to be the best version of myself, and I don't think I can be that if I'm in a loveless relationship with somebody. Because how my kid's gonna get the best version of me if I can't be the best version of myself, you know? But I would love to hear. Did you change? You still think like that?
I do, to some degree, still think like that because I feel like I can withstand the burden of issues in a nuclear family for my children,
Mhm.
right? If that means that me and my wife have lost the love for each other, then we can. I feel like there's a world where we can still be cordial enough to be co-parenting and under the same household without the bond there being right. But then again, like with that being said, the question I had before I remembered my question.
Go ahead. I would love to
You
hear.
guys.
I would love to hear.
My question was, do you think it's inevitable for two people in a marriage to change from the day they get married to the very end?
100%. 100% too. And I want to echo what you said earlier. Your people are constantly evolving.
Mhm.
And sometimes that evolution may go in different branches, which may be the reason why people fall out of love. Like
Mhm.
the version of you that I loved isn't the person who I need right now,
Mhm.
you know? So it's totally possible. I 100% agree.
I agree too. And the reason why I brought that up is because there's a lot of nuance in relationships, especially marriages, right?
Mhm.
I feel like some people suffer from what I consider to be stunted growth, right? Meaning they get to a point where they're like, okay, I've done a lot of work for myself. I think I'm at the best self I've been at. So I'm going to stop doing this work, or I'm going to stop progressing to become better
Yeah.
from where I am, right?
Mhm.
And in a marriage, you need to continue growing or progressing to be the best version of yourself, like you're saying, right? So I think in many of the, because I'm not married, I don't know these things. I'm just asking.
I'm not married either. Fam.
I'm just asking
I'm
a
not
question.
married.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get the info
Me
for
too.
someday, inshallah. Let me be a husband
Yeah,
of
me
somebody's
too,
dreams,
bro.
right?
I don't
That's
know.
what I want. That's what I want.
100%.
But until that day, I want to find out as much information as I can.
Inshallah.
So I do ask these questions, right? And when I do ask these questions, I want to find out like what motivates you to continue being great, in your marriage. What are the signs that you see in your life that tell you, okay, I'm married to the love of my life. I have a great situation. I have a great I'm at a great place in my life, alhamdulillah. But I want more and I want to do better and I want to gain more with this from where I'm at right now. What motivates people to do that in a marriage when they've been together for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years,
Mhm.
Like that's kind of like, those are because like we can all agree that change is inevitable, right?
100%.
But how do you continue going linear instead of, flatlining at some point is my question.
I don't got that.
I don't got a wife.
I don't got that.
I don't have a marriage.
I can
How
only
am I
give
supposed to know?
I can only give you theory, brother.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
you know who is married?
Somebody
Five
here.
minutes. 5 minutes.
Just saying.
It's been 5 minutes.
Look, I would love for you to hear your response.
So is the question in how do we continue to grow
Mm-hmm.
in a marriage? Like, how
Mhm.
do we sustain it? Is it how do we sustain, or how do we continue our growth?
How do we continue our growth? Like more so, it more so pertains to the example that I was using. When you're 10 years into a relationship or a marriage with somebody, how do you guys continue to prosper?
Okay, so if we look at it from the perspective of marital psychology and marital counseling, it's recognizing both parties have to recognize that for any relationship to work, just the fundamentals of any relationship to work, you just need two active participants. And you don't even have to be in love. You don't even have, because we have seen what societies look like for people who just their core values were in alignment and they respected each other, and it was enough to sustain that relationship. Love is just a mercy, and may Allah make us amongst those who are a recipient of it. Allahumma ameen. But understanding that at the core of any relationship to work, its fundamentals are you got to be actively participating. Okay, so that's that. So two people have to be actively participating. They can't stop the work. Okay, the other thing is recognizing, again, there's the us cup, the me cup, and the you cup. The me and the you cup, you have to acknowledge and understand that your self-care equates to your community care. If you're not doing the work and you're not doing self-care, people often don't know the difference between self-love and self-care. Self-love is this idea
Even
of
though there was a difference.
no, there's a self-love is, and what do I accept in my life and what won't I accept in my life, and how do I protect these things? Self-care is the upkeep and the maintenance of that
Actions.
life, right?
Okay.
And recognizing what work do I need to do to be at my best. So the us cup, the me cup, the you cup. So the goal is that you have with your partner an understanding of what are our individual core values, what are our value systems, and that's in alignment. Because if both of them are academics, then both of them will work towards that and support each other and help each other. If both of them have ambitions of both making money, the hope is that, okay, cool, we'll work towards that and we'll both be creating money. Great, whatever. But recognizing that when I show up for myself and when you show up for yourself, and when we have core values there, and there's an alignment, we're able to support each other, and we're both, pouring into each other's cups. And while we pour into each other's cup, doing the self-care, we're actually also pouring into the us cup. The us cup sometimes gets, neglected, right? Because we're so busy either just working on self, or the other person is just working on self, and then there's a disconnect. There's no alignment, right? Like people are doing the things, there's goals, but they're not, again, in alignment. So then the us cup kind of like, diminishes. And
Got you.
so
Now that's a great way of pointing it. Wallahi, I'm not going to even lie to you. That just really that really kind of shaped in my mind how it's supposed to work, right?
It's so important.
Working on yourself,
Mhm.
Your partner working on themselves, and then you working on
But you have to be
the us, right? Yeah, the alignment.
the core values have to be there. A relationship where the core values are not in alignment will not be able to sustain itself, because you won't understand each other. You won't understand your why. If your whys are not similar and you haven't effectively communicated that, then la khalas, it'll just
It's almost as if it's a business,
kind of.
in a sense.
But you want to make sure that when I am standing next to someone, committing to someone, making vows to somebody, what are those vows? What are the vows for individually, and what are the vows for we're pouring into each other? If somebody can't see the vision, can they help you? Can they pour into you? You'll constantly just, it'll be like that. But I think the best way to look at it is self-care, wallah, alhamdulillah, is the best community care. The more you pour into yourself, you show up so much more abundantly and better outside and with everyone else, whether it's as a daughter, as a mother, as a friend. You just show up better when you do the work. Alhamdulillah.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah.
Well, very well said. Alhamdulillah.
Very well said.
Wow.
Holy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot. I'm not married. I told you guys.
That's how we get.
That's a married life for you, right? In a nutshell.
Inshallah.
Work on yourself and you'll have a great marriage.
Inshallah, if God wills it.
Inshallah.
So, just to wrap things up,
Mhm.
what do you think he should do in this situation?
You asked me already. I said
But
the man.
quickly, just so,
Okay.
because it's gonna be a round table thing, fam.
I think that.
Should he? Okay, let me make this easier. For you. You're gonna go on a tangent.
Should he go
my
back?
nigga. Let me tell you.
No, it's not a
Let me tell you,
tangent. There's nuances to these things.
100%,
Bani
which
Adam
I
is
agree with.
complex.
Which I agree with. Let me
Thank you.
take that away.
Okay.
Do you think this is a
Yes.
yes or no answer? Do you think that he should let her back in his life?
Nah, I think he should let her go.
Got you.
For kids, though.
I'm sorry. I think those kids will be better having watched
Them kids.
honest parents
Which
being
I agree
honest with
with you.
themselves.
Slim,
Mhm.
should he let her back in his life?
I personally would.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this is, controversial take here.
Unpopular opinion.
Roommates, I don't know, lovers turn to roommates.
And then you get a divorce later on when the kids are gone. If things, I find you interesting, fam. I find you interesting.
I enjoy my own I enjoy my own company too much, I feel like.
Forever?
Yeah.
Brother, I think that's tough.
It sounds tough, but it's like, I got kids.
Yeah, but you don't you want a partner to be with you your entire life?
Yes, but I don't feel like that's gonna make or break my life experience.
Clear. Okay.
That's how I look at it. So
I love that. You are yourself.
Yeah.
You fulfill yourself.
I personally feel like it'd be more of it'd be more important to me to be a good dad than a good husband.
Fair. So the core value I'm hearing is that Ya Rabbi, fatherhood, it sounds like is a greater responsibility to you than husbandhood.
Not to say that husbandhood isn't an important responsibility, but when weighing the two out, one weighs more to me than the other. That's just my point.
Okay. That's fair. Mukhtar.
No.
I didn't even ask the question yet, nigga.
No, he did.
It was the same question.
No. I gotta say it.
Okay, go ahead.
Should he let her back in his life?
No.
And why do you think so?
I think she said sort of, I value my own peace. I value the peace of the children. And if you, I don't know if this was, I don't think she liked the guy. If you fell out of love years ago and you didn't say anything to work at that for that much time, even throughout the marriage counseling and things like that. So if you don't like the guy, you don't love the guy, you're inconsistent with your emotions. It's not worth being around the kids and being all that. So no.
I just fear distance from my children, so I would take back that relationship.
We're gonna explore that as a topic one day. Still, I want to get back to that. But to circle everything out, I do agree with my sister and Mukhtar as well, because I don't know if I could be in a loveless marriage. Life, in my opinion, would look so bland.
Yeah,
like black and white. I think love puts colors into life.
He said, "I'm a poet."
100%.
Okay,
you feel me? That's the clip right there. That's the
right.
clip. But honestly speaking, I really think myself being taken out of the situation would be better for the overall family. But let's agree to disagree on that. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Feel free to agree with any one of us and let us know. My name is Jama, my co-host
Mukhtar,
Slim,
and my the
Halima.
guest. And don't forget to subscribe. Take it easy. Peace.